Alright, what's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be going over some of my favorite spices, what I use them for, what I keep around in the kitchen, because I do keep quite a lot. Most people aren't going to have this many, and that's fine. I happen to really enjoy cooking, but I'm going to show you guys some easy ways to get around having to really know anything about spices. So today, I'm going to be going over spices, because let's be real, a lot of bodybuilder food doesn't taste very good. So if you want to eat chicken and rice, this is how to make your chicken and rice taste good. I also don't recommend you just eat chicken and rice. That's besides the point. Let's go over what the heck we got on the table here. So I'm going to go over the fresh stuff first. Two of my favorites, we've got ginger root and fresh garlic. I love both of them. Ginger helps my stomach a lot. You always hear it's like a mom, what do they call it, mom science or grandma science, where they say, oh, you have a stomach ache, here, have some ginger ale. Ginger helps settle your stomach, it aids with digestion. Garlic, for me, a lot of people have trouble digesting garlic, so be careful. Start small, and if you eat over a clove, hope to God you live alone, otherwise you're about to. But garlic is fairly healthy for you as well. Actually, it used to be used as like a natural antibiotic way back in the day. There was also studies, I think, where it like cured minor chlamydia or something, so you know, just in case, bro. Not making any assumptions, but moving on. We'll get rid of those. We're gonna move over here to the basics, the single ingredient stuff that I always keep around. So the first of which, most obviously, we've got salt and pepper. So salt and pepper, been around for forever. There's not much really to say here, right? They kind of go great on everything. You should probably put them on everything, but in moderation, especially with salt. Salt will cause you to bloat, hold water. Some people tolerate a lot of it, some people don't. I am someone who needs a lot of salt. I drink a lot of water, and I actually will get lightheaded and can pass out if I don't get enough electrolytes in. Another important electrolyte, potassium. So I use this no salt. It tastes like salt. It's just potassium chloride instead of sodium chloride. That's it. So it's kind of nice because a lot of athletes especially don't get enough potassium. You don't need no salt. You don't need to supplement potassium in your diet. I mean, you could eat like a potato, half a potato a day probably would be enough. Potatoes are very high in potassium, for those of you who don't know. I keep it around just in case. Sometimes I'll throw a dash of it in my pre-workout, as well as some salt. That's like a pro tip. Gotta do that. But next on the list, we've got granulated garlic or garlic powder. Some people use garlic salt. I obviously keep all my salts separate because garlic salt is very salty. So if I double up on salt, pepper, and then garlic salt, it's like real salty, and like you'd be in the Mojave Desert before you know it. So garlic, again, goes great on a lot of things, healthy for you. I just enjoy the taste. These are more of kind of like the savory type options. So going along with that, we've got ground cinnamon. Put it in oats, cream of rice, cream of wheat, ice cream, whatever you want to do. Cinnamon's a little bit more expensive, but this big thing is like 10 bucks and it lasts forever. There's also some studies, and again, I'm no expert, but showing that it helps with the processing of carbohydrates in your body. Next, oregano. I love oregano. I could put this on everything, and oftentimes I do. Oregano is just another savory. It is an herb. I eat it because I like the taste. I'm not really in all this for the longevity aspect of all these different spices. Odds are the Walmart brand is probably not going to be giving you everything that's really supposed to be in anyway. Up next, we have great value paprika. So paprika, there's two different types of paprika. There's paprika and then there's smoked paprika. I actually like the smoked paprika better. It tastes more like, closer like barbecue chips, which is really good. Next, we're gonna go over to some of these pre-made mixes. So if you don't wanna deal with experimenting with flavors, buying paprika, turmeric, you got cumin and cinnamon and salt and pepper and all that separate, you don't wanna deal with any of it, stick right here. This is where you're gonna wanna live. Your pre-mixed things. So up at the top, you got the King seasoned salt. So some of you may know this as like Lawry's, Lawry's, I don't know, but they make a seasoned salt. It's like famous. This is the Aldi brand. It's like a third of the price, and big boy here. Delicious, goes great on a lot of things. It's basically just like salt, paprika, turmeric, onion, and garlic, I think, in it. My all-time favorite seasoning, if I can only eat one seasoning for the rest of my life on anything and everything, would be this right here, Everything Bagel Seasoning. Now, of all the seasonings up here, this is probably the highest calorie because it has seeds in it. So even though it says A quarter of a teaspoon is 5 calories. You know, be careful, because who the frig uses a quarter of a teaspoon? I'm covering my potatoes in here and air frying. I'm like, come on now. Everything bagel seasoning, fantastic. Also has a fair amount of sodium in it, so watch it. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have our salt-free, sodium-free options. So we've got a McCormick Veggie seasoning, goes great on salads. Same thing here with the classic salt-free Mrs. Dash. So again, these, you know, they're pre-made. They're gonna be a little pricier, but they taste okay. Without salt, man, what is life without salt, man? Come on, dude. So I don't use these too much. Don't exactly do a lot of cutting of salt. Like I said before, I run into issues if I don't eat enough salt. This brand is fantastic. I found these, the Fire and Smoke Society. It's a little pricier. These are like, I think they're like $4 or $5 for one of these. But they make this Chicka Licka Bam Bam Bird Rub, solid, and then the Potato Slayer. Goes great on potatoes, wouldn't you know it. I'm a big fan of the air fryer, so air frying potatoes with this, actually, or this, or marinating chicken in this is great. It is fantastic. It's a little, it gives it a little bit of heat, a little bit of excitement, delicious. And I don't have to think about it. I don't have to add anything else. I just open the cap and bada bing, bada boom, I dump it on there and I'm done. Easy. Next, we got another classic, the Montreal steak seasoning. So not just for steak, I put it in ground beef. You can make homemade burgers. You can put it on eggs. It's just a real savory seasoning. I mean, it's really, you got salt, pepper, red pepper, garlic, and onion in here, and it tastes pretty delicious. Next is another good one is this curry powder. So if you don't want to make your own, you know, curry seasoning, you got this one, and it's, as you'd expect, and you could probably tell by the color, there's salt, there's turmeric, there's cayenne pepper. That's pretty much all this is. So it gives it a little bit of savory, a little bit of tang, a little bit of kick, but delicious. I actually make my eggs with it, out of all things. A lot of people probably think I'm nuts, but like curry chicken egg omelet thing, oh man, with those vegetables, dude, delicious. One more savory option. I saw this actually recommended by another bodybuilder, Chris Tuttle. The Better Than Bouillon, or just bouillon in general for cooking rice. Absolutely fantastic idea. If you have a rice cooker, you just take a teaspoon of that, stir it into the water you use to cook your rice, and you get like a chicken flavored rice that comes out. I usually do that with a little bit of ginger, some turmeric, maybe a little garlic if you really want to dress it up, and you've got just absolutely killer rice to die for. So if you're getting tired, if you are one of those chicken and rice hardcore enthusiasts, which again, not a great idea, you won't stick to it, but if you want a better chance of sticking to it, there's your guy right there. Moving into sweeteners. Obviously, stevia, Splenda, whatever, not exciting. But there's this other one, sucrin syrups. So I buy sucrin syrup gold because it's made here in Virginia. Pretty cheap to ship it to my house, but it's basically just like a fiber-based sweetener. So like Vitafiber, Fiber Yum, those are all the same thing. I think those are Canadian. This one is a Norwegian, I guess. It's basically like honey, but fiber instead of sugar. So it's not calorie free. It's lower calories, but it's processed differently by everyone. So just keep that in mind. I'm also a big advocate of just regular honey. You'd be surprised how far like a teaspoon of honey really goes in terms of flavoring or glazing or whatever. And for like 40-50 calories, sometimes, yeah, you know, it's worth it to have a normal meal and eat like a normal human being, you know, make a real recipe that you'd make on a date night or something like that, rather than something that you're, you know, filling with as many artificial flavorings and sweeteners as humanly possible. You can look like a normal person. Lastly are my favorites. These are my babies right here. Hot stuff, spicy stuff, kick, jab, whatever, I don't know. So my two go-tos are these, I guess call them premixes, really. I mean, one's a crushed red pepper. You're not really mixed anything. It's crushed red pepper. It's just delicious. This whole thing cost me $6, and you go through to the snail's pace, because if you're eating this by like the spoonful, you are me. But anyway, you'll go through real slow. It's delicious. It adds a whole lot of kick. I put it on salads. I put it on eggs. I put it on chicken, ground beef, burgers. You name it. Salmon. Ooh, salmon's good. Fish is good. Next, we got pre-mixed taco seasoning, dude. If you're on a huge budget, right? Like I have $5 to spend on spices. I'm gonna probably point you in this direction. Either this or salt and pepper. Pick, because this it goes the best on the most things. You can get away with it everywhere. It's spicy, it's tangy, it's delicious. You can put a lot, you can put a little, you can encrust something in it. You can just sprinkle it on top. Like, so versatile, fantastic. Gotta love it. I also keep around some cayenne pepper here. So cayenne or red pepper, whatever you want to call it, super dry heat. So I usually only add like a little bit of this to certain recipes. Sometimes I'll throw a little bit into some burgers, some homemade burgers, or on a steak marinade or something. And then last little seasoning here that's not a premix is a chili powder, just another hot-ish, I guess it's kind of hot, kind of sprinkle on type thing. Last but not least, another real versatile one, again, kind of pricey because it's brand name. It's Frank's Red Hot. It's a dry seasoning. Goes great on a lot of stuff. I actually use it on popcorn, air popped popcorn. This stuff is really good. You take this and some black pepper, and it's man is it good, but man is it a mess. It's just like eating freaking chicken wings, man. So anyway, I've now made a mess of my countertop. I hope you guys enjoy this real quick run through of just some basic stuff I keep around the kitchen. Again, if you can only have a few things, I'd always go for the good old taco seasoning, some type of maybe 0-calorie sweetener, and then just get some type of other premix, whatever, flavor of the week, whatever's on sale. And get creative, enthusiastic, enjoy cooking because you're probably going to be doing a lot of it. Anyway, guys, until next time, I'm out. Catch you later.